Krishna Prabhuji.
Little louder, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So we have Yashika, Kirti, Uday, Rajesh, Arun, Rajesh Nalla, Nandasuta, Shambhavi, and Shubham, and Vishakha, and Siddhi, K. Rakesh, and many others who are going to join. So welcome all of you. Is my voice audible to all of you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. But Ankit, your voice is not audible. Always I think network problem. Okay. So today we are having the 4th session of Discover Yourself series. So can you tell me what was the session yesterday? What did we discuss yesterday? What is the topic of yesterday's session?
Manual of life.
Discussed about Vedas and Darwin.
Okay, Veda and Darwin. Okay, so it was about 3 ways of gaining knowledge, the manual of life, right? So Pratyaksha Pramana, Shabda, Anumana Pramana, and Shabda Pramana. So there's 3 ways of gaining knowledge. So we discussed in elaborate detail about Pratyaksha Pramana, how the senses give wrong knowledge, incomplete knowledge. Right? We discussed the story of that elephant and 6 blind men. So that gives incomplete knowledge. But when you approach a person who knows what is an elephant, then you can get perfect knowledge about the elephant. So that is what we discussed yesterday. So Pratyaksha Pramana cannot give complete information because of 4 defects. So the 4 defects are imperfect senses. Because of imperfect senses, we get illusion. And because of getting illusion, we make mistakes. And to cover up the mistake, we cheat. So these are the 4 defects which human being has got. So that's why we cannot get complete knowledge. So then we discussed Anuman Pramana, guesswork. So we discussed about Darwin. Darwin just assumed and made a hypothesis, made a theory which is called Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection. So we saw that how there is no proof for Darwin's theory till now. It is just a big assumption, and many of the proofs were actually fake. So scientists wanted to cheat. So they gave fake evidences for this. So then we came to Shabda Pramana. Shabda Pramana is hearing from a bona fide authority, a person who knows. So that's called Shabda Pramana. So we discussed the story of mother and the child. The child wants to know the mother, then, the child wants to know the father, then the child has to ask the mother. Another way is to find out who is the father by DNA testing, which is long time. We will waste our time. So Shabda Pramana saves our time and gives perfect knowledge, correct knowledge. So that is the benefit of Shabda Pramana. And Vedas are the Shabda. That Shabda means sound, Vedic sound. So the Veda is also called a Shabda. Anavrittihi Shabdaha. You can understand God by Shabda. So that is the Vedanta Sutra. So by studying the Vedas, we can come to know about the Father Krishna. So Vedas are like mother, we are like the child, and God is the Father. So we can understand God by reading the Vedas. So that is the conclusion of yesterday's session. So today we'll continue the session about what the Vedas offer us. Discover lasting solutions. Put a full stop to all your sufferings. You see, this person on the left side is very, very much in distress, but on the right side is becoming happy. So how to become stress-free and how to become happy, that's the session today. We'll begin with prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namo Vishnapadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshatarini Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram. Modern science offers only stopgap solutions and cannot put a full stop to the problems of life. Vedic wisdom offers perfect spiritual solutions that put a full stop to the problems of life. So these are the main two topics. Actually, modern science is working for solutions, but the solutions are not perfect. We'll see how. But Vedas, on the other hand, give perfect solutions. So today we'll be discussing these three topics: real problems of life, temporary solution offered by science, technology, and medicine, and permanent solution offered by Vedic wisdom. So if you remember the first session, which we discussed that the goal of life is to become happy. We want happiness, but we see that happiness is always not in reach. We want to be happy, but our life is punctuated by misery. Right? Like when you write a sentence, you put a full stop. Then you write another sentence, then full stop. You don't write a continuous statement, whole page. Similarly, our happiness also, sometimes it appears that we are happy and then suddenly full stop. Some suffering comes. And then again we become happy, then again suffering comes. That's how the life is. So the life is filled with problems. Let's see what are those problems. What are the real problems? So this friend is asking, what are the problems in your life? So this boy, I think he's a school-going boy, is telling, oh, I don't have good physique, I'm weak, no job, family problems, no money, I'm not so handsome, failed in exam, I don't have a girlfriend. So this, people think that they are the problems. These problems are all relative. Like somebody may be having good beauty, but others may not have good beauty. So it is not a common problem. It is specific to some people. Like no job, it is specific to one person. Not like many people have job. Some people may not have job. It is problem for them. So we are talking about a problem which is common to all. So the real problems. These are not real problems. These are relative problems. So we are asking what are the real problems. So let us see what is the definition of a real problem. A problem can be considered a real problem if it fulfills the following three criteria. First one, it is common to all. Second, nobody wants it. Third, nobody can avoid it. So what are the three criteria? It's common to all. Nobody is an exception. It's common to all. Nobody wants it. And nobody can avoid it. Okay, can you guess what are these problems? I'd request new people to answer. Those who already know, you please don't answer. I want new people to answer this. So can you tell me what are the problems? There are 4 such problems fulfilling these three criteria. So any guesses? What can be the problems? Okay, Vinay is telling death, correct? So it's common to all? Yes, as sure as death. Nobody wants death, still it comes. Okay, Jennifer Kashyap is telling disease. Correct? Nobody wants disease, but still it comes. Of course, the nature of the disease may be different. Somebody may have a headache, somebody may have stomach ache, somebody may have skin problem, somebody may have heart problem. But disease is there. Disease will come. Bishwajit is telling psychological problems. Okay, that is also problem. People have mental sickness. Okay, and some people commit suicide also because of psychological problems. It's true. So we can put this also under category of disease. Okay, Sanjana is telling hunger. Okay, hunger is a general problem. Some people are not hungry. Only some section of people are hungry. Right? So it is not a real problem. Because in the sense that everybody feels hungry, that is true. Okay. If you say that, okay, everybody feels hunger, then your point is valid. Stress, ailment, we can put all this in disease. Okay, Rajesh is telling stress, Uday is telling ailment, Kirti is telling stress. We put all this under disease. So, okay, Arshav is telling birth. Okay, to lose people, that's death. So you're telling mainly three categories: birth, death, and disease. So three main categories you have already spoken. One more is remaining. Can you guess what is that? Okay, Arshav is telling old age. You already know. Okay, Sanjay is telling failure. It's not common to all. Disaster. Oh, yes, correct. Okay, we'll come to that disaster. That's another category of problem. We'll come to that. So, as many of you already guessed it, right? So, the four real problems of life are birth, old age, disease, death. These are the four real problems of life. Nobody can avoid it. Nobody wants it. It's common to all. Okay. So, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, shloka number 8 to 12, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanudarshanam. One who can perceive birth, death, old age, and disease as real problems is in knowledge. So these are the four real problems. So a person who can understand what is the problem can find solution to it. Okay, so that's why Krishna is telling here, one who can perceive these four things as real problems is in knowledge. If somebody doesn't know what is the problem, then you don't have knowledge. You cannot get knowledge, isn't it? It's like for example, if somewhere fire is burning, now you have to go and find out the root cause from where the fire is coming. Then you can put off. Unless you know the root cause, then you cannot solve the problem. Similarly, here these are the four real problems of all other problems. So, like birth, because we have this body, we are born, we get old age, disease, and death. Right? Let's see why the birth is also a problem. There's a video. I'll show you this. So let's go to birth. So this child is born. Generally, when the child is born, we say, "Oh, very happy birthday to you. Happy birthday." Mother, father, everybody is telling happy birthday. But what the child is doing? He's crying. Big loud cry because he's in pain. No child comes out laughing. Every child is born crying. Why? Because for 9 months, the human fetus lies cramped within the darkness of the womb. Right? Imagine if I tie your hands and legs and put it in a small packed room box. It is uncomfortable. What to speak of 9 months staying like that? No? Scorched by the mother's gastric fire. Right? Jolted by sudden movements in a congested womb. Like sometimes mother is traveling in a car or a bus and there are jolts. The child also feels the pain. Hungry worms in the abdomen cavity torment the child. There are some insects also in the womb which bite the child and the child feels pain. And child passes stool and urine in the same packet. Imagine staying in the toilet for 9 months. So that's the kind of suffering the child undergoes. Are you able to see the video?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Every month what happens is being described here. 7th month. In the 7th month, consciousness develops. Child can feel pain and pleasure. You can even hear the sounds. Mothers can feel that sometimes child is punching inside. You can feel it. Child cries sometimes. The skin is very tender. If the ant bites us, it's painful. So child's skin is very soft. It feels more pain. So that's why birth is painful. Birth is suffering. Let's go ahead. Now old age. So beauty queens become old, no longer beautiful. The skin becomes wrinkled. The hair, black hair becomes white. The bodily strength goes away. As Adi Shankaracharya says, Angam galitam falitam mundam dashana vihinam jatum tundam vruddho yati grihatva dandam tadapina munchati ashapindam. Very beautiful sloka. He says, Angam galitam, all the bodily limbs, they become weak. Angam galitam. Falitam mundam, the hairs naturally fall. Dashana vihinam jatum tundam, all the teeth naturally fall off. And people have to wear that artificial teeth. And sometimes the mouth is like this. They cannot eat hard food, they have to eat liquid food. Dashana vihinam jatum tundam vruddho yati grihatva dandam. A third leg comes because two legs cannot support. We need a third leg. Tadapina munchati ashapindam. Even then the desire to enjoy doesn't go away. Shankaracharya says. So this is old age. So you see, Arnold Schwarzenegger, very powerful hero. But see how he has become now. Old. Power is gone. We want to remain young forever, but very soon we start growing old and our bodies become weak and frail. No one wants to get old. Cosmetic industry is flourishing due to fear of old age. See, all the cosmetics are because of fear of old age only. So somebody is getting wrinkles, okay, apply this cream. The skin will become again soft and straight. We are getting white hair, okay, take this Godrej hair dye, put it on the head. Right? Or the teeth are gone, so put some artificial teeth. So this is all, or sometimes there's facelift, they lift the face so that one looks very young. This is due to fear of old age. So cosmetic industry is making money because of our old age. This is a video about old age.
Most people spend their lives wrapped up in rushing to and fro.
Prabhuji, the video is breaking.
As time flows quickly by.
Okay. Maybe network issue. I hope others are able to see.
Days, months, and
It's
years
now
rush
okay.
by in the blink of an eye. Yet for some reason, people try to ignore this fact. It is as if they think they will never grow old. Yet the days of youth that they so fondly imagine will never end are really very short. Almost everyone realizes that he will grow old one day. Yet young people always feel that those days are very far off. They refuse to accept that they will one day be old, weak, and helpless. The two young people in this picture are good-looking, with clean and perfect skins and shining teeth. But there is another important detail. These pictures were taken in 1955. When this picture was taken, these two were most probably not giving any thought to the fact that they would one day grow old. Yet some 50 years or more have now gone by, and nothing remains of the youth and beauty in the picture. Time destroys everything. That is a law of the world.
So this is the law of the world. Time, I am, Krishna says, Kalosmi, Lokakshayakrit Prabhuddham. I destroy everything. Young people become old, new buildings become old, new clothes become old, everything becomes old. Nothing remains permanent in this world. That's why Krishna calls this world as Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. The world is temporary and it's full of misery. And then disease, no need to say. All of you have good experience of this. And is there anybody here who never had a disease in life? Is there anybody here? Please raise your hand who never had any disease in your life. Okay, no hands. Okay, now please raise hands if you have at least one disease you had in your life. Okay. Did you have at least one disease? Okay, okay, now, okay. People are raising hands like anything. So this is the nature. Okay, many. Somebody is telling cold, many diseases, many diseases. That's the nature of this world. Okay, full of disease. We want always remain healthy, but against our wish, we encounter various diseases, newer and newer diseases. And then finally, death. Right? It is said that at the time of death, the pain is so intense that one experiences the pain of million scorpions stinging. I don't know if you have had the experience of scorpion stinging you. It's very painful. I never had, but I had some insects biting. It's very painful. But million scorpions coming and biting, like too much. So that much pain happens. That's given in Garuda Purana. So it's told here, in that diseased condition, the dying person's eyes bulge due to pressure of air from within, and his glands become congested with mucus. He has difficulty in breathing, and there is a rattling sound within his throat. Thus he dies most pathetically. Right? Kante gurgurayate. Gur 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 sound will keep coming. He cannot breathe also. And he finally dies. Kantavarodhana vidhau smaranam kutaste. Kulshekar Maharaj also says. So the mucus chokes up the breathing windpipe. Now, apart from these four problems, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, there are threefold miseries. If one of you are telling about natural calamities, droughts, distress, let's see. See, due to our own mind and body, okay? So the misery is due to our own, happening in our own body and mind, due to other living entities, and due to natural disasters. So these three categories are there. So in our own body and mind, we can experience headache, stress, depression, body pain, suicidal thoughts, heart problems, indigestion. We can go list, huge list is there. If you go to any hospital, there will be department list. For eyes, there is ophthalmology. For teeth, there is dentistry. For the skin, the dermatology. For heart, cardiology. For bones, is osteology. Right? And then, so many. For digestion, GI, gastrointestinal department. So every part of our body has got a department. So many problems are there in our body and mind. And due to other living entities, suppose some insects comes and bite, arguments and fights with other people, bacteria, viral disease, like now corona is coming. So that is in second category. Disease due to other living entities. Or sometimes dogs comes and bites you. Or sometimes tiger attacks, like animal attacks, theft and robbery. So these distresses are because of other people. And third category is due to natural disasters, like tsunami came a couple of years back. Earthquakes keep happening now and then. And rainy season floods come. Like recently in, I think Himalayas, somewhere there was a Uttarakhand, there was a, what's called? The snow fell, the glacier fell. And there was a big flood, instant flood. So many people died. Like tornadoes, droughts. So these are all natural disasters. So they're called klesha. So adhyatmika. So the first category is adhyatmika, miseries due to body and mind. See, atma refers to mind also, atma refers to body also, atma refers to soul also. So adhyatmika means miseries due to one's own body and mind. Adi bhautika means miseries due to other living entities. Adi bhautika, bhuta, other living entities. Adi bhuta it's called. Adi daiva, adi daivika klesha means miseries due to natural calamities. Daiva means nature. So miseries due to nature, they are called as adi daivika. Adhyatmika klesha. So these are all adhyatmika. So heart attacks and suicides tendencies. See, out of 751 youth, 405 are struggling with mental health. Okay, it's almost like 54% of them are struggling with mental health. They need counseling. So they're in trouble. India today says teen suicide rates have tripled in the last 25 years. Academic pressure, lack of family support, stress, etc. So the causes are academic pressure, a lot of pressure. That's why I was telling Kota is the #1 city where a lot of suicides happen. And family support is not there because they go to boarding schools, stay in hostels and study. So family is not able to take care of them. And then there's stress, performance pressure. That pressure creates stress in the mind. And then one may think of suicide. Adi bhautika klesha like terrorists, snake bite, some people stealing, beating, mosquito. Like mosquito can cause malaria, right? And now the viruses can cause corona disease and all. So you have to be very careful. So adi bhautika klesha. And then adi daivika klesha. Like earthquakes, tsunamis, tornadoes, droughts. You see this video? Japan earthquake came. Tsunami actually. Tsunami came, flooded the city. Very difficult. Adi daivika, nature. Not just in India, even advanced countries also have this problem. America, Europe, a lot of problems. Forest fire. In Australia, there is forest fire. Dust storms. We use dust storms. Earthquakes in Turkey. people are stuck up there, reviewing the people stuck up in the office. So these are the problems. Nobody wants them, but still they come. So that's why it's called Adhidayvika creation. Right? When these problems are absent, we feel we are very happy, but suddenly these problems come. Like 2020, nobody imagined that it will be fully locked down. Now again, it's locked down. We never imagined that we'll be staying locked up in rooms, but it's happening. Nobody wants to be locked down, but still you are forced. So these are the Daivika klesha. So these are the real problems. Now let's see what solutions. We want solutions to these problems. So is science providing the solutions? Let's see. They give temporary solutions. Right? We have sophisticated, advanced medical science. Right? A lot of gadgets. We have the latest technology at our disposal. Still, our plans of good health and happiness are thwarted with newer and newer diseases. And one disease will go, new disease will come. Right? In the history, if you see, there are smallpox, there are chickenpox, and there are deadly diseases which came. But they invented some medicines. Those medicines could cure them. But now newer diseases are coming. Nobody thought that AIDS will be such a deadly disease. There's no cure for AIDS. And now this COVID is coming. And then in future, something else will come. It's not going to end. Okay, we think that okay, COVID vaccine will come, we'll take it, then we'll be cured from COVID. Yeah, that's true, but something new will come. So that's the nature of this world. It's always full of problems. So medical science can solve a particular disease, but it cannot solve diseases. Newer and newer diseases will come. It cannot solve death. It cannot stop death. Right? People have to die. Even doctors themselves one day have to die. So medical science cannot solve the problem of death and disease. Muhammad Ali was one of the greatest boxing champions who could defeat his opponents in seconds. So he was telling, I am the greatest. But now he is having Parkinson's disease. Right? He cannot lift a coffee also with his hand. So he has become like that. So where is power? So this shows that Mother Nature is so powerful. Even powerful people become old and they die. Even why do such great personalities suffer from problems? Right? So solve the problems you may take. So like if you have pain, we take painkiller. If you have headache, you take some pain reliever for the head. So we do all these temporary solutions, but we cannot solve the problems as such. We cannot put a full stop to all suffering. So Martin Luther King said, he was one of the famous presidents of America. Now man can fly like a bird in the sky and swim like a fish underwater in a submarine. The only problem is he can't walk on land like a human being because of pollution. Right? If you see, we hardly walk. We get out of the home, take bike and go somewhere, park the bike and then do some work and again come back, take the bike. And people don't even climb the stairs, they use the lift. So people are forgetting how to walk. See the pollution caused by 6 million tires. And we are using vehicles, so where the tires are going? So you see this dump. Our plastic. So okay, please see your diet now. What is there in your diet? One credit card a week. So because now we are drinking water from plastic bottles, people are eating in plastic plates, right? People are using pesticides, and even in agriculture they're using plastics. So some or the other plastic comes into the diet. Okay, so it's deadly. You imagine eating one credit card every week. So what kind of plastic will be there inside? See, science has invented bombs that can only blast living bodies into pieces. They can't create life. Okay, we may be proud of missiles, we may be proud of rockets, but what good they're doing? They're just taking lives. They're making people die early. So these are all temporary solutions. See, so if the problem, white hair is a problem. So what science does? Okay, take a dye, put it on the head, make it black. Temporary solution. I was seeing one person who used to come with black hair. He was quite elderly, so he had full black hair. But one day I saw that in between, near the roots, there was white. Oh, then I understood. He's putting dye already and coming. Wrinkles. He used facelift. So what they do, they cut a little bit skin here and then they tighten it. They lift it. So then the skin becomes tight. Oh, back pain, stomach pain, pain relief. Use painkillers. Take paracetamol. Paracetamol will not cure the pain. It will just suppress the nervous system so that you don't feel the pain. Painkiller is actually not the cure. It just suppresses your nervous system so that you don't feel the pain. That's why too much of painkiller is bad for liver. In paracetamol, it's written too much of paracetamol will destroy the liver. So one should be very careful while taking. Nowadays, I see that people little bit fear, take paracetamol. Little bit fear, take paracetamol. No, it's risky. We should take under consultation. Breathlessness and death, we use oxygen tubes. This is what is happening nowadays. So superficial patch-up solutions cannot free us from suffering. We can patch up the problems to fool someone for some time. You see here, this lady is getting attracted to this handsome boy moving on the horse. But after some time, reality is exposed. He is not a handsome boy, but he is an old man dressing like a young, handsome boy. So patch-up solution. Like here, the cat is looking like it wants to look like a tiger. But reality is reality. Old man is old man. We cannot become young. So you have to accept that reality. So science and technology cannot stop old age, cannot eradicate disease per se from Earth, hardly has understanding of life and death. Even science cannot say what is life, what is death. Some people say that, okay, the child in the womb, it can be aborted because it doesn't have life. Who said? The child in the womb has consciousness. It can feel pleasure and pain. So it is living. So just because it is there in the womb, we cannot abort it. Abortion is sinful. So one has to take care of the child, not abort it. So they don't know when the life comes into the baby. So luxuries and comforts offered by science and technology cannot satisfy the soul. As much as fish taken out of water cannot be satisfied by any kind of facilities for enjoyment. Like this fish is there, it's taken out from the water and put on a nice sofa. And somebody is giving cigarette to smoke, sandwich to eat, TV to watch, internet to browse. And then there is notes and films or magazines and baseball and all this. Can it be happy? How many of you say that the fish can be happy?
No, Prabhuji, it can be happy.
Cannot be happy. So what is the solution? How can the fish be happy? What you have to give to the fish?
Water.
Water. Correct. Ankit is right. So the fish will surely die outside, as many of you are telling. So only solution is put the fish back into water. That's all. So then it will be completely happy. Similarly, fish, now you compare the soul with the fish. The soul is separate from God now, is forgotten God. Now we are trying to enjoy our senses. We're trying to eat, we're trying to sleep, we're trying to mate, defend. So this eating, mating, sleeping, defending, this cannot make the soul happy. It can give some pleasure to the senses, but cannot make the soul happy. So that's why even with so much advanced technology, smartphones, gadgets, still we are not happy because the soul can only be satisfied and happy in spiritual world, which is his natural home, just as fish will naturally be happy when put back in water. So we have to go back to Vishnu Loka, Vaikunta. So Vaikunta is like water for us. So once you go back to Vaikunta, no more misery. This world is called Kunta. Kunta means miseries. Vaikunta means place of no misery. So we have to go from Kunta to Vaikunta. See, there was one person who got lost in an island. So he came with a ship, but the ship had some problem and then he got stuck up in an island. So this person, the people who were there, some tribals, they picked him up, okay, and they made him the king actually. So he was wondering, how come you are making a stranger like me as a king? And they said, yeah, anybody new comes here, we make him the king for 1 year. And said, after that, what? Well, after that, we send this person to an island, which is another island far away, and there is no food to eat, and there's no good place for staying there, and only a person dies. He got scared. Then he was thinking, okay, I have 1 year, what I should do now? So because after 1 year, it is confirmed that he's going to die. So can you suggest him some solution? What he should do so that he can be happy even after 1 year? Right? What this person should do so that he can continue to be happy even after 1 year? Okay, so Nanda Sutta is telling, grow food on the island. Okay, intelligent answer. So he wants to, in advance, start growing food in that island. Okay, any other solution? He will send all the requirements to that island. Okay, good. I think some of you have heard this story. Travel and explore. So what this person did, he told his soldiers, because now I am the king, you have to obey my order. You go to that island, make a nice home for me. And then he said, take some wealth there and keep. And he said, go and make some farming so that after 1 year, I should have harvest so that I can eat. And also dig some wells so that I can have drinking water. So within 1 year, he made a plan to go to the next island. So then when the 1 year term ended, then he happily went. No more problem. He was not miserable. Similarly, our condition also like that. That person was a king for 1 year and we are kings maybe 60 years, 70 years. After that, we die. After that, we are surely going to die. But are we planning for the next life? You tell me, how many of you are planning for the next life? Hardly anybody plans. So that a real intelligent person is one who, while living in this life, will plan for the next life. What kind of body I will get in the next life? What kind of place I will be there in? So a real intelligent person will not want a body in next life. He wants to go back to spiritual world, Vaikuntha Loka. So that is the intelligent person actually. So that's the story of Desolate Island. But the foolish people, they don't care about this. The wise people has firm faith in God. The foolish has no faith in God. Lives life according to laws of God. The wise man lives life according to laws of God. The foolish eat, drink, and be merry philosophy. Just enjoy. Don't worry about the consequence. Feel like smoking, smoke. Feel like drinking, drink. So that's what their concept is. Remembers the temporary nature of the world. But the foolish person forgets the temporary nature of the world and enjoys sinfully, not caring for future. Right? So this person knew that 1 year is my term. After that, I have to go. So he knew that. Similarly, we also should know. Okay, if somebody is 20 years old, you may have another 60 years. That's all. After that, you have to die. Right? Follows regulated life of principles to ultimately attain God. But the foolish person, envious of others, lives an unregulated life and goes to hell. Right? These are the destinations of wise and the foolish. Life is like a train journey. Right? All of you must have traveled in train. So when you're traveling in train, many passengers are sitting next to you. And on a particular station, one person gets down. And in the next station, another person gets down. And then finally, you have to get down. So what does this getting down mean? It means death. We say our great-grandfather has died, grandfather has died. So people are leaving. So father will leave, I will leave. Everybody leave one by one. Because a train journey is not a permanent journey. You have reserved the train journey for this station to this station. After that, you have to get down. Similarly, our life is also like a journey for certain years. After that, we have to get down. And all the family members are like passengers. They're coming together in one bogie or one home. They stay together for some time, but one by one, they start getting down. So that's the nature of this world. Mahabharata says, Yudhishthira Maharaj tells to Yaksha in the Yaksha Prashna section, where all the sons had died, all his brothers had died. So at that time, Yaksha asked a question. Tell me the answers to this question, then I'll bring them back to life. So Yaksha asked, what is the most surprising thing in this world? Yudhishthira Maharaj replied, Ahani ahani bhutani gachanti yamalayam Sheshasthavaram ichanti kimascharya mataparam. Hundreds and thousands of living entities meet death at every moment, but a foolish living being nonetheless thinks himself deathless and does not prepare for death. This is the most wonderful thing in this world. We see everybody dying, but we don't think that we will also die. We live as if life is eternal. That is the most strangest thing in this world. So it is given in Mahabharata Vanaparva. But the foolish are mad after petty pleasures of life, indulge in sinful activities, and invite ghastly future. Sees everything is temporary, but still is blind to truth. Breaks God's laws due to uncontrolled senses. What is not supposed to be done, he will do that. That is the foolish person. And what are those? The goat mentality, You have seen goat butcher shop? That butcher is cutting one goat inside, but the other sheep outside, they are thinking, oh, nice grass, let me eat nice grass today. But they are not knowing that their turn will also come next. Only in this world, we are also like goats. One by one, Yamaraj is taking all of us. But we think we'll never die. So that is the nature of this world. Now, what is the permanent solution? Is there any solution? Let's see what the Vedas say. See, Vedas offer solutions to this problem, permanent solution to this problem. They provide answer to these two questions. Why am I suffering? And what is the goal of life? Okay. Now we discussed about suffering. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Adhyatmika, Adibhotika, Adidevika, Kleshas. So we are suffering because of all this. Why? Why we are suffering? That's the first question. So that's answered in the Vedas. Okay. So we are suffering. We are suffering threefold miseries and four real problems of life because we have turned away from God and are acting sinfully against God's laws. For example, child leaving the safe custody of parents. Parents take care of the child very nicely. But if the child, out of rebellion, if he leaves home and goes out, like this child who is sitting on the street footpath, wondering, how will I get my food? So he will suffer. So a child in the custody of parents is happy. Similarly, we, souls, under the care of God, we are happy. But when we forget God, we become miserable. You see this family, they are aligning themselves with God. So they are happy. They are not breaking the rules of God. They are serving Lord. They are chanting the names of the Lord. They are worshipping the Lord. You see Hanuman, he is so happy because he is serving Lord Ram. Right? So this helps us overcome sufferings. So the root cause, somebody was asking question other day also, why we are suffering? Because we have forgotten God. We are disobeying God. That's why we are suffering. And for example, if somebody does a crime, doing crime is against government laws. So such a criminal, suppose a thief or a murderer, he'll be taken by police and put in the jail. Why is put in the jail? Because he has disobeyed government laws. Similarly, if we disobey God's laws, then we suffer. So it's as simple as that. The second one, what is the goal of life? So the goal of life is to attain liberation from the cycle of birth and death. See, the cycle of birth and death is described here in this verse of Bhagavad Gita. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grihnati naro parani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. The body which we have is compared to a cloth. Like we wear cloth on our body. When it becomes old, we throw it. Suppose some cuts have come here and there, it's broken. So what do you dispose it and take a new dress? Generally on birthdays, people purchase dress and they give up the old dress. Similarly, the body is also compared to dress on the soul. The Atma is wearing now a human body, human dress. So when the body becomes old, the human body becomes old, the Atma throws it and takes a new body. So that's called reincarnation. And new body need not necessarily be human body. The new body will be awarded according to his desires and according to his karma activities. So the desire and activities determine his next body. He may get a goat body, he may get a dog's body, he may get a tiger's body. So it depends. Based on his activities and desires, he gets a next body. Yeah, what happens to us at the time of death? The soul leaves the gross body behind and is taken to another womb based on the quality of desire stored in the subtle body at the time of death. Okay, so this body which we see, which is made of earth, water, fire, air, ether, it leaves back here so that the relatives can take it and bury it or burn it. But the Atma, along with the subtle body, mana, buddhi, ahankar, mind, intelligence, and ego, it goes to the next body. And the mind contains all the thoughts and desires. So according to the nature of the subtle body, he gets a new gross body. Like in computers, we have template, Microsoft PowerPoint, Word templates. According to the template, you make the design. Similarly, according to the subtle body, one gets a gross body. If somebody has cultivated the subtle body like a dog, behaving like a dog, dog means what? Eating anything and everything. Or like a pig eats anything and everything without discrimination. So if somebody is having such a habit of eating anything and everything, then he may get a pig body. He can happily eat anything, right? Right? See, this person is changing the vehicle. Same person, but different vehicles. Cycle, motorcycle, car, aeroplane. Same person, but different vehicles. So same Atma, but different bodies. According to the desire and according to the karma you have. Karma means money. According to the money, you can purchase your car. Similarly, here also a person can purchase, Atma can get a body according to his karma. So the spirit soul moves from one body to another body. On what basis the soul is awarded next body? It's given in Bhagavad Gita. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tameva iti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitah. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. At the time of death, what you are thinking, that will become in the next life. At the time of death, so of course, if some people are having a pet dog, and while dying, they're thinking of the dog, then next life will become a dog. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a story. One king, Bharata, was there. Bharata, while dying, he was remembering a small deer, beautiful deer. So in the next life, he became a deer with 4 legs, because his contemplation was on the deer. Right? We accept one body after quitting another body depending upon 2 things, 2 criteria: desires in the mind and our karma, good karma or bad karma. If we did good karma, we'll go to good body, means human body or heavenly body. But if we do bad karma, we may go to animal body, lower species of life, or insect body or a tree body. So it's called law of karma. As you sow, so shall you reap. Right? Depending on the quality of seed, the quality of the plant, quality plant comes out. If the seed is poor quality, then the plant is also poor quality. Every action has equal and corresponding reaction. That's called karma. You see, this person is pushing this brick, but he doesn't know that the brick will come back and fall on him. So whatever you do, it comes back to you. But you don't know how it will come back, but it will come back sooner or later. Sometimes karma comes back instantly. Like this person is punching him, he'll get instant punch also, isn't it? So it's called instant karma. And then there's delayed karma. Right? Delayed karma is what? Okay. You put the seed, then it becomes a tree, and then it gives another fruit. It takes time. So sometimes the karma is in a seed form, then it grows, and then it gives the reaction. So some karmas take time to fructify. Sometimes it may take few years, or sometimes it may take few lifetimes also. Like Dhritarashtra, 100 sons were killed. So what karma did he do? It is said that 50 lifetimes before he had killed 100 birds. And the mother bird cursed Dhritarashtra that because you have killed my 100 innocent children, you will also suffer the karma of getting your 100 sons killed. So it took 50 lifetimes to fructify that karma. So human form is like a junction. Okay. So if we do good activities and lead a responsible life, then we become happy. But if one engages in sinful activities, then he will suffer. What are the sinful activities? There are 4 in number. The first is meat eating. Eating fish, meat, eggs. is all sinful. Why? Because it causes violence. You're causing pain to the other living entity. So that pain will come back to you. So it is sinful. Intoxication, smoking, drinking, taking drugs, right? Gutka, pan masala, there's all intoxication. By doing that, one will suffer. Generally, those who drink, they get liver problem. Those who smoke, they get lung problem. And nowadays it is rampant, especially drug is very rampant among teenage youth. Many schools and colleges, it's getting smuggled, and people are getting affected by that. And gambling. What is gambling? You put little money in the hope of getting a lot of money, like lottery. So that is gambling. Even to some extent, putting too much time in stock market, that was like gambling, because that disturbs the mind. And nowadays, many online gambling sites are also there. People put online money and then they lose. So that was a gambling. And illicit sex. Sex before marriage and sex outside marriage. Okay. So sex for producing children within marriage is allowed, but sex outside is not allowed. Okay. And even watching illicit things on the TV, internet, that's also considered as illicit sex. So doing these 4 activities, what will happen? One degrades to lower species, or he goes to hell for punishment. Right? If somebody is eating meat, then he'll become a tiger in the next life. If somebody is sleeping like a polar bear, then if somebody is sleeping, then he'll become a polar bear. If somebody is exposing the body too much, and then what will become? He'll become a tree. You can stand naked for hundreds of years. That's karma. But if you obey God's laws, and then what are the God's laws? Like performing austerities. Austerities means getting up early in the morning, chanting the names of the Lord, performing yajna or sacrifices. You'll see they're doing Sankirtan yajna, they're doing Homa at home. And then knowledge, reading Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata, right? Or if somebody is of other faith, like Bible, Quran, you can read. An association of saints discussing spiritual topics. So if somebody is leading a pure life like this, then he'll be elevated. And there will be no more birth, death, old age, disease. He'll go to spiritual planet. So these 5 things should be done. First is association, A, B, C, D, E. Association with saintly people. One should read holy books like Bhagavad Gita. Then one should do chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Like we chant this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Tomorrow I'll tell more about this mantra tomorrow. Tomorrow's whole session is dedicated to power of mantra. Association, books, chanting, healthy diet, vegetarian diet, and preferably offered to the Lord. When you offer the food which you cook at home to the Lord, it becomes prasad. When you take that prasad, that nourishes not only your body, but also our soul. The soul also becomes satisfied by eating prasad. And engagement. One should not sit quiet. One should do some seva to the Lord. Like these people are doing kirtan and making other people chant holy names. Or some people can come to temple and do seva. Or our online volunteers are there. They're doing so much of service, right? Organizing online programs, sending nice quotes, videos, and all those things, right? So there's engagement. So one should have some seva also. So A, B, C, D, E. Association, books, chanting, diet, and engagement. So by these 5 things, one can be elevated, promoted to the higher life. Right? So this guru is training the disciple to go higher and higher on this stage to meet Krishna in the Vaikuntha Loka, spiritual world. Right? So accepting of spiritual master, study of these are the steps actually. Acceptance of guru, study of the Vedas, austerity, sense control, spiritual knowledge. And then he elevates to spiritual world. So Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, if somebody follows these rules and regulations, then he'll go back to spiritual world. Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam apnuvanti mahatmanah samsiddhim paramangataha. Krishna promises that if once you go back to spiritual world, you never come back to this material world again. So we have to endeavor to go back to spiritual world. That is our duty. We just do our part, then Krishna will take us and no more suffering again. So this world is dark. From the dark world, this devotee is going to spiritual world, is the world of light. Tamaso orma jyotirgamaya. Go to the world of light. Okay, so in essence, today what we discussed is problems. There are two categories of problems. One is four real problems: birth, death, old age, disease. And then threefold miseries: adhyatmika, adhibautika, adhidevika miseries. And science and technology is giving solutions, but they are patch-up solutions only. Right? They are giving solutions like giving all the facilities to the fish, but without water. So fish without water cannot be satisfied. So similarly, science is giving many medicines, many solutions. Like if too much hot, you put AC, you put fan. So it can reduce our inconveniences, but it cannot solve the problems. And we discussed the story of Desolate Island. So a foolish person will not think about the future life, but a wise man will think about his future life. That's what we discussed. Then Vedic wisdom, it gives permanent solution. Okay, so we discussed about how law of karma works. We keep getting newer and newer bodies. So Vedas give us a solution by which we can break this cycle of birth and death, and we can go back to spiritual world. If we are not in the material world, we are in the spiritual world, and there is no more misery in the spiritual world. Like if you are on a boat in the ocean, because the ocean is disturbed, the boat also keeps rocking, it keeps dancing, and if somebody is on the boat, he will also keep experiencing inconvenience because of the waves. What is the solution? Get out of the boat, right? Like helicopter comes, puts a rope, you catch the rope, and you go back, go high. So no more in touch with the boat, no more disturbance due to ocean. Similarly, we lift ourselves from material consciousness to spiritual consciousness, then the miseries will not affect us. So if you do sinful activities, we'll stay in this material world. But if you do devotional activities, obey the God's laws, then we are elevated to supreme destination. That is the ultimate solution which the Vedas give us. Okay, so that was the conclusion of the today's session. So we thank everyone for attending this session today. So I will take some question answers. Oh, many questions are coming here. Shivani is asking, I'm just seeing, I don't know, many comments were there before, but right now I'm able to see these 4 questions here. Prabhuji, then why there are some rituals which are performed with dead bodies when soul is not there? Actually, when the soul dies, the soul immediately doesn't leave that place. The soul stays there for some time because it is attached. Soul is attached to the body. It wants to again get into this body. So the 12-day rituals are performed by which the certain rituals are done where the assurance is given to the soul, you can go, please go. Your family members will be taken care, all of your relatives will be taken care. You just leave and go. So like this assurance is given, and those rituals will give a body suitable for the journey. It's called Preta Sharira. So the Preta Sharira is suitable for the soul's journey from this planet to the next destination. So in that 12 days, the body is created and then the soul starts its journey. And in the journey also, during the journey, the soul requires certain support. So that's why relatives who are there on earth, they're supposed to provide support in the form of Pinda Dana. So that's why Pinda Karakramas are done on a monthly basis and eventually annually. So by which the soul who is on the journey gets support. Otherwise, he will suffer. So that's the duty of especially those who are living, his relatives should do that. Okay. Rajesh is asking, but that's so unfair that all the good things he did over his life doesn't add up to that. Okay, I think it's a question related to what you remember at the time of death that will become in the next life. So if he remembers the wrong thing at the time of death, and what about all the good he has done? So I think that's the question of Rajesh. So actually, whatever we have done throughout our life, the aggregate of that comes at the time of death. Okay, it is not just one thought. The whole aggregate of thoughts is there, and one thought will be prominent. One desire will be prominent. and that prominent desire will be fulfilled, and he will get a next destination. Okay. So whatever we do, like for example, you have exams, so you study throughout the year. So whatever studies you have done throughout the year is tested in the time of examination, isn't it? So preparation has to be there throughout, not just one night you study something and then you write. So whatever you have practiced and done throughout your that 1 year, that is tested in the time of examination. Okay, so aggregate of the thoughts will come. It is said that at the time of death, all that you have done in the life comes as a flashback, and whichever desire you are most attached to, that you become, that you fix your mind on that, and then you get the next destination. Shobana is asking, Puruji, if you face harassment at duty place, is it because of bad karma in last birth? I think I answered this in the email which you had sent. So yes, whatever sufferings come, it is because of our own karma. You have to accept that. So that is my karma. It's coming to me, but those people are becoming instruments in my karma. Okay. So honestly, we should not blame them. We should think that, okay, it's my own karma coming back to me. So the instruments may be different. So don't blame the instrument of your karma. So blame our own karma, what we have done in the past. Like in Bhagavatam first canto, we read that the bull and the cow were being beaten by Kali. So at that time, Parikshit Maharaj comes and asks the bull. Bull is Dharmaraj actually. He asks, what is the cause of your suffering? Can you please tell? And that bull says, I don't know. Apratarkyam, anirdeshyam. I cannot point out who is the cause of my suffering. I think it's my own karma by which I am suffering. So our karma comes back to us. So some people may become instruments in that. So we should not blame them. But if it is too disturbing, then we can change our situation by which we can change the form of karma. Karma is going to come, but we can change the form of karma. Instead of this way, we can take it that way, other way. So the form of karma can change, but how it will come? Karma will come, suffering will come, the quantity of suffering will come, but how it will come? It is conditional. It depends upon our choices. Shivani is asking, can you please explain threefold miseries in short? Very simple. Adhyatmika, misery is due to our body and mind. Right? We get some body pain, we get some headache, or some tension, anxiety. That's Adhyatmika. Adhibhautika means somebody else causes us pain. Somebody insults us, somebody, some insect bites us. So that is Adhibhautika. Or in the office, boss shouts at us. That is Adhibhautika. And Adhidaivika means by nature. Earthquakes, tsunamis, too much heat, too much cold. They are Adhidaivika kleshas. Okay. There's another question. What is the meaning of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Roga? Peditam, Karma Bandhane. I'm not sure from where this shloka is. So the meaning of this, what you have written is Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Roga, Jara, Vyadhi. Peditam means suffering due to these four things. Karma Bandhane means what? This because of our own karma that we are experiencing. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Our diseases come because of our own past karma. If somebody has led a very pure life, then he'll live a disease-free life. You'll see some people living up to 90, 100 years without any disease. Means they have done some good karma because of which they are having disease-free body. Right? So the Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi is because of our own past life. There is another question. Prabhuji, people say that we shouldn't read Garuda Purana. Why shouldn't we? It is also a scripture and tells things other than death. It is spoken to Garuda by Vishnu. Then why should we can read it? Generally, when a person dies, at that time people read because Garuda Purana contains details about death and journey after death. All that is there. So generally, at the time of death, people read it. But among all the Puranas, Bhagavad Purana is considered to be the topmost. So generally, devotees read Bhagavad Purana, which is the topmost of all the Puranas, and that is sufficient to take us back to God. So Bhagavatam is most important. After reading Bhagavatam, if you have time, maybe you can read Garuda Purana. So Ankit is asking, why should we not drink tea, coffee? See, tea and coffee, they come under subtle intoxication. They are also addictive. Like your drinking and smoking is addictive. Similarly, tea, coffee is also addictive because they contain caffeine, and some kind of chemicals which are addictive. So one person starts it, it's difficult to stop it. Even chocolates, they contain cocoa. So chocolates are also addictive. Tea, coffee is also addictive. So addictive items are not good for spiritual life. That's why we avoid it. Savir Sinha is asking, people at extreme conditions where no food is there as a resource and animals are only there, how can you expect them not to eat meat? Example, Europe, Iceland, etc. Yeah. See, in such situation, Shastras give something called as apad dharma. Generally, one should be vegetarian, but there is something called as apad dharma. Apad dharma means emergency. There's nothing to eat. You're in the middle of a Iceland, and there is only some animals which are there, or some fish is there. And if you don't eat, you will die only. So in that extreme conditions, which may come once in a lifetime sometime, so then one may eat, survive, and immediately come back to the mainland. Don't stay there eating fish. Right? Come back to the main place, and then you become a vegetarian. So for that, getting the energy to quit that place and come to a vegetarian place, you can eat and come, no problem. And then after coming, you chant Hare Krishna, you read Bhagavad Gita, purify yourself. Okay. So for that, it is allowed. So even in Shastras also, sometimes it is said that Vishwamitra, once he was in such a situation, there was nothing to eat. Then he ate some animal, it is said. So it is apad dharma. It's not a regular duty. But now what has happened regular? No. So many shops on gully, and people are purchasing and eating like anything. Even though they know that Corona came because of eating meat, still they're eating. It is nonsense. Foolish people. So one should stop it actually. So meat eating is cause of many diseases. It causes cancer. People who eat meat have high degree of cancer. They have high degree of having heart attacks, right? And they are more angry by nature because they are eating a product of violence. That violent attitude will also come. In English, there's a proverb: "You become what you eat." So if you eat a product of violence, we will also become violent. Okay. I hope that answers the question. Sadashi is asking, Prabhuji, apart from our soul, is our body is material? See, soul is spiritual, body is material. Yeah? Soul is only spiritual thing. The body, gross body, subtle body, both are material. Varsha is asking, people do corruption, crime, but still they have live happily, and only poor people have to suffer. A very intelligent question. We see some people are corrupt, but they look happy. So actually, it's just a matter of time. Maybe in the past they have done some good, so they are reaping the good results. But eventually, when that good karma gets over, this bad karma will start acting. And you'll see in the future they will suffer. Okay, may not be in this life, but in next life they'll suffer heavily because of their corruption. So that suffering will come to them. They cannot avoid it. Okay, example is given that in old age or in villages, they used to put grains in a kind of a container. So they put grains. Okay, if there's good grains coming, so they put good grains. And next year, suppose bad grains come, harvest is not good, so they put the bad grains. But when you open from bottom, still good grains only will come because you have put good before. And after that, some bad grains will also start coming. It may take some time for the reaction to come. So it's called delayed karma. Okay, Rajesh, thank you, Guru Sanjana. What if we think of God during death? Yeah, you go to God Loka. You think of Krishna, you go to Krishna Loka. So we should think of God at the time of death. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Antakale cha maam eva smaran mukta kalevaram iha prayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samshaya. Krishna says, at the time of death, you think of me. And by thinking of me, you will come to me. Okay. 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 Thank you. Understood. Thank you. Diksha is telling. Then to which category or which misery does accidents belong to? Yeah. Accidents, the pain is to the body. So accidents are also because of, if it is because of others' mistakes, sometimes because of others' mistake, we get into accident. Adi Bhautika. Or sometimes while walking, we ourselves slip and fall. That Adi Atmika. We ourselves caused misery to our body. Okay. Mridol, yes, he's asking, Puruja, as you told that if you face harassment, it's because our own karma. But the instrument from which we are getting our karma will also gain bad karma, or there is no karma that will be on him. Yeah, he will also get his karma. Okay. So for your karma, you are getting harassment from suppose that person. Because he is becoming an instrument in causing karma, he desired to cause harm to you. He will suffer in the next life. In the future, he will suffer because of his desire to cause trouble to you. It's both ways. He became an instrument for your karma, but because of inflicting karma upon you, suffering upon you, he will suffer in the future. So that's why we should not try to become instruments of bad karma to others. We should try to do good to others only. Okay. Yes. So that's why karma is very intricate. Karmano hi bodhavyam cha vikarmanah akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. It is said that karma is very mysterious to understand. Gahana karmano gatihi. Nobody can understand why I'm suffering. Like suppose you get malaria, you cannot go and find out, no, which mosquito bit me, which mosquito caused me corona, caused me this malaria, or who caused me corona. You cannot say, it comes, right? So somebody becomes the instrument. So it's difficult to understand what I did in the past because of which I'm suffering. That is very difficult to understand. Only God knows. Biswajit is asking, if I want to read Gita, should I start learning Sanskrit or I can start in English? You can start in English. So if you read Prabhupada's Gita, Bhagavad Gita, it's very simple. So you can just read the shloka, you can read translation, you can read the purport. So that is easy to understand. You don't need to learn Sanskrit grammar and all. You just start with reading Prabhupada's Gita. There's another question regarding chocolate. Chocolate is also addictive. Cake also contains cocoa. Should we eat or not? Yeah, so there is another kind of cake without cocoa. You can eat that. There are plain cakes. There are milk, cream cakes. You can take that. Of course, some people put egg also into the cake. So one should take if possible eggless cakes. Egg is also non-veg. One should not eat that. Okay. In our ISKCON temples, if you go to Govinda's restaurants and all, they make cakes without egg and without cocoa. They use carob. There's another substance called carob, which tastes like chocolate, gives color like chocolate, but it's not addictive. Anuradha is asking, Roji, why devotee should not eat onion garlic? Yeah, see, there are food in three modes: Sattva-guna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna. Sattva-guna good are very helpful for a spiritual practice because they keep us in Sattva-guna. So sattvic lifestyle is good for spiritual life. But onion garlic are in Tamaguna. If you eat onion garlic, then our mind becomes a little slow. So to understand spiritual subjects becomes a little difficult. So that's why onion garlic, because of tamasic nature, they are avoided. But however, sometimes some doctors may prescribe it as a medicine. One may take it as a medicine if needed. If not, one can go for other medicines. So, but it is not a regular food. In Ayurveda, it is not a regular food. It can be used like a medicine, not like a regular food. Not only onion garlic, there is another question here. Why only onion garlic? Even mushrooms, even decomposed items, like what is this alcohol? Alcohol is a decomposed item. You ferment for a long time, it becomes alcohol. So mushrooms, alcohol, they are also tamasic. One should avoid it. Kirti is saying, can you tell about 4 problems? In short, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. 4 problems. Birth is a problem because birth is painful. Death is a problem because it is again painful. Nobody wants to die, but still death comes. Old age, nobody wants to become old, but still it comes. And disease. These 4 problems. Yesterday, quiz toppers. Okay, I will tell our Srikar Prabhu to put the toppers. Okay. Okay, thank you. Rajesh is asking, I heard that if we do bad in this life, we pay for it in this life only. And why do karma get carried in next life? No, actually, whatever we do in this life, karma may not come in this life. Some may come, but some karmas will come in the next life also. Okay. So, like Dhritarashtra's case, he did a karma in one life, but he got the reaction 50 lifetimes later. So when the karma will act, how it will act, we don't know. Like you take a seed of mango, you put in the soil, how long will it take to get the fruit? It takes 10 years, sometimes 15 years, right? So you do action now, when that reaction will come, we don't know. Sometimes it will come instantly, sometimes it will come after a long, long time. Okay. Murdal is asking, where can we get Srila Prabhupada's Gita? So Murdal, you can contact our volunteer, Shrikar Prabhu. Okay, he's there in the WhatsApp group, he's one of the admins. He can courier it to you. Okay. So you can send your address to him and he can courier it to you. You can give your address. Okay. Anuradha is asking, what if parents are not? I don't understand that question. I think it's a partial question. Maybe his parents are not favorable. Maybe you can try to practice, and if possible, parents can also attend some programs and they can also get this understanding. Then they will also become favorable. There's another question. Okay, there's appreciation. Thank you for the question answers. Thank you. Proji, is it bad to avoid bad people? And this way we hurt them too? Yes, if bad people are there with bad habits, better to avoid them. There's no question of hurting them. You just come out of their association and have good association. Right? And you can keep a hi-bye relationship with them. When you see them, you can smile and say hi. That's all. But you cannot participate in their activities. You cannot be in their intimate circle. Okay, you can be in a good circle of good people. But with the others, bad people, you can still maintain hi-bye relationship. Chinmay is asking, please explain heaven and hell, birth and death and spiritual world. Actually, heaven is like, suppose if there is a 14-story building, okay, 7 stories are above the ground, okay, and another 7 stories are below the ground. So ground floor is like Bhuloka. And there are upper planetary systems like Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, like 6 are above. So these 6 above and 7 below and the ground floor. So the upper planetary systems, they are called as heavens, especially Swargaloka. So those who do good activities, they are promoted higher. But those who do sinful activities, they are promoted to lower planetary systems. And lowest planetary system, the bottommost planet, that's called as Patala or hell. So their special punishment is given. Those who have done special crimes, they'll get special punishment in hell. Okay. And what is spiritual world? Spiritual world is above this, beyond this Swarga, beyond this Naraka, beyond this Bhuloka. It is Vaikuntha Loka. So both heaven and hell are in the material world only. But Vaikuntha is beyond this material world. It is in spiritual world. Okay. So we have to go beyond this material world to spiritual world. That's the answer to Chinmay's question. Okay, there's a whole session. There's one chart also called Goloka chart. Maybe I can request one of them to post it on the WhatsApp group so you can look at it. It gives the location of Patala, then Bhuloka, Swargaloka, and spiritual world also. Okay, what if parents are not agreeing to leave onion garlic? Yeah, it will be difficult. But if you can make them attend some programs, or if you can tell the bad effects of onion garlic, right? So generally people are addicted to onion garlic because they have no alternative. They have not tasted food without onion garlic because they think it is a part of food. Without that, we cannot eat only. Even in our family also, it was like that. Onion garlic, they used to cut onions and eat kacha onion. But eventually, when they understood this message of Bhagavad Gita, when they understood that it is tamasic, it is not good for spiritual life, then they eventually left it. They stopped fully. They don't even purchase it now, right? So it happens. So initially, it is a little difficult. So what you can do is you can cook at home. You can tell parents, so today you can check chutti. Mother, you can check chutti. I'll cook for you. Okay, and you make nice items without onion garlic, and first class. There's one book called Hare Krishna cookbook. So there are so many menus given there. You can make nice menus, cuisines, and then serve them. They'll be happy, right? So you can give them a little taste of prasadam. Then the taste for anangali will go away. It will take some time, but eventually it will go away. There's somebody asking, what is your view on astrology? Astrology is also Vedic science, and it works. And depending upon the position of the stars and planets, one can understand the nature of a person. One can one can also predict certain events. It's true. So if astrologer is very honest, then he can give good predictions and he can help people to solve their problems to a certain extent. So the planets are also giving the reactions as per our own karma. It's not that they are doing some crime on us. No. Whatever karma we have to get, the planets are giving us. Like the moon is controlling the mind. Okay, sometimes because on full moon, mind gets agitated, disturbed because of moon. So moon is the devata of mind's devata is moon. For hands it's Indra. So every limb is controlled by different devatas and planets. So they have influence on us. And according to our previous karma and our desires, they provide influence. But if somebody surrenders to Krishna, Krishna graha grihita atma. If somebody is haunted by Krishna, then these grahas will not have much effect on him. Okay, so such a person doesn't have to worry too much about astrology. Okay, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, if Papa and Punya are equal, so will person go to spiritual world? Very interesting question by Om Saraf. Actually, Papa and Punya is not like positive and negative, so that they cancel each other. No. If you have done Punya, you have to enjoy the Punya karma. And you have done this amount of Papa, you have to suffer for the Papa. So by doing Papa, the Papa cannot be nullified by doing Punya. It will not negate each other. You have to separately enjoy the good and the bad, which you have done before. So you'll not go to spiritual world. So one has to develop love. Yeah?
Prabhuji, so will we suffer the papa means what we have done the papa, so suffering will done in the spiritual world or on the earth only?
Here, earth only. Okay. In this material world only you have to suffer. In spiritual world, there is no suffering. Okay. So
in spiritual world?
Who can go to spiritual world? His papa should be 0, punya should be 0. And his love, their third parameter, papa, punya and bhakti. Okay, papa should be 0, punya should be 0, and bhakti should be awakened in the heart. Love for Krishna should be there in the heart. Such a lover of Krishna can go back to spiritual world. Okay, so punya is not the criteria. By doing punya, you can go to Swarga, but not to spiritual world. Does it clarify, Om?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, papa and punya both are material. So that's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Ubhe sukruta dushkrute. What is that verse? He's telling, Buddhi yukta jahati ha ubhe sukruta dushkrute tasmad yoga yujjasva yoga karmasa kaushalam. So by bhakti yoga, one should destroy both sukruti and dushkruti. Papa and punya should be destroyed. And then one should perform yoga. And then he'll go back to spiritual world. This is the art of work. So one should destroy both punya, material papa. And bhakti should be awakened. Then Krishna will take us back to God. Okay, so Srivardhan is curious about yesterday's quiz winners. I don't say winners, I say toppers. Because everybody who's participating in this program is a winner. Okay, that's my definition. So we'll be posting it soon. And everybody who attempts all the quizzes will get certificates. Okay, digital certificates. Okay, so I think it was a very interesting question answer session today. Thank you for your wonderful questions. So we'll meet again tomorrow for a session on chanting. So tomorrow's topic is, I'll just show the topic for tomorrow. Yeah, sublime joy through sound. Okay, sound means mantras. So we'll see this tomorrow. So thank you very much. So happy Ekadashi. Rajesh is wishing happy Ekadashi to all of you. Today is Ekadashi, very holy day. So it's very good day to practice more spiritual activities. So thank you so much. We'll end here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.